Hello again, welcome back to the 22nd floor for some more of the Football Spy show, sponsored by our friends at Renault Vans. Apologies for our absence yesterday. We were flying back to London from Switzerland, but we're now back here to update you on all of the latest transfer news. We've also got your predictions ahead of this weekend's Premier League games, a brand new competition in which you can win the Premier League shirt of your choice, and all of the show's regular features, of course. But let's start, as always, with some transfers. The breaking news this morning coming out of Holland that Dirk Kuyt's agent Rob Jansen claims the Liverpool striker is considering a reunion with the former Reds boss Rafa Benitez at Inter Milan. Jansen's been telling the magazine Football International that there is real interest from the European champions, and he's added there is also the possibility that a player from Inter could be included in the deal. Now, as you'll no doubt know by now, William Galas is on the verge of a move to Spurs after being released by Arsenal. I think it'd be an excellent signing for Tottenham. He'd bring them experience and leadership, but I want to know what you think. Arsenal fans, how do you feel about him going down the road? And Spurs fans, are you going to welcome him with open arms, or are you going to give him a hard time? Let's fill you in on a few other bits and pieces of news, and two other players that will now not be coming to the Premier League this season are the Brazilian striking sensation Neymar. He's just signed a 5-year deal with Santos to ward off Chelsea, and the French striker Loic Remy, who's just signed a 5-year deal to join Marseille, largely because the Premier League clubs that were interested in him all realised that he actually wasn't worth the silly money that his club Nice wanted for him. The Mail say that Spurs are set to offer £6 million for the Everton midfielder Steven Pienaar, who's got just 1 year left on his contract, and secure the services of Real Madrid midfielder Lassana Diarra on a season-long loan deal. But Spurs face a fight with Spanish side Sevilla to sign the Barcelona former Arsenal winger Alexander Hleb, who went on loan to the German side Stuttgart last season. That's in the Star. A big thank you to Francois Lopez in the Netherlands, who's been keeping me up to date with all things Sebastian Squillaci. Arsenal want the 30-year-old Sevilla defender who reached the Champions League final with Monaco 7 years ago. He's a good player, so much so that Arsenal are prepared to pay as much as £9 million for him, according to the French daily L'Equipe. Also in L'Equipe, Lyon are considering a loan move for Manchester City's Robinho, although City are keen only on a permanent loan move for him. Elsewhere, shame on the Bournemouth striker Brett Pitman, who's rejected a £10,000 a week offer to join Blackpool in the big time of the Premier League. Either he's lacking ambition or he's being very badly advised for me. West Ham are in for the former Portsmouth loanee Anthony van den Boer. He's at Genoa. That story's on skysports.com. France football are saying that Emmanuel Abou is ready to sign a contract extension with Arsenal until 2014. The Sun are saying that Leicester are refusing to rule out launching a sensational bid to lure the Aston Villa striker Emile Heskey to the club now that they've had some new investment. And West Ham co-owner David Sullivan, he's been in the Daily Star refusing to rule out selling defender Matty Upson if the club get a decent offer. In other words, he's trying to drum up some interest. Now, cheeky Paul Murphy in Denmark sent me this message yesterday. He says, "You seem to be finding it hard, Darren, to keep up with all the top and bottom sixes, so maybe you could do a show with just Semin one day when you maybe don't have a lot else to tell us." Thank you, Paul. But the boys here work very hard to get the graphics together so that you can see the show in a reasonable time. They're nodding behind me here. Anyway, just for you, Paul, and everyone else, here's a few more of your predictions for the coming season. Dan 11 Farrell thinks Chelsea will beat United to the title, with Liverpool bursting into the top four and City missing out. SG Damas, I should say, thinks Liverpool will enjoy a sensational season capped by winning the Premier League. I'm a fan, but I don't agree with that. Questions will be asked in his opinion, though, at Arsenal and City, both of whom in his list will finish out of the money. Linux is in New Rochelle, New Jersey. He thinks Arsenal are going to win the league from United, City get into his top four, Liverpool miss out, and Everton take the place of Spurs in his top six. Now, we haven't had a competition for a while on the show, so we'll make up for that now. And you're going to have to think about this one for a bit. I want you to tell me which team outside the top four will have scored the most goals by the time the transfer window closes. So basically, any team inside the top four places by August the 31st doesn't count. It's the teams from 5th to bottom who will have scored the most goals. Email me at spy@mirror.co.uk or post on YouTube. The prize is the Premier League shirt of your choice. I've got a Liverpool one here, but it's a shirt of your choice. Don't worry, you won't get this one if you're not a Liverpool fan. Now then, a couple of your teams and the way you want them to line up ahead of the new season. Paul Ayling's a Man United fan, and his team is simple but effective. A 4-3-3 formation with the back five as you'd expect. Valencia's on the left of a three with Nani on the right and Anderson holding. Chikorito's on the right of a three-man strike force with Berbatov on the left and Rooney through the middle. Although judging by Rooney's goal drought, would you still have him in the team? Big question. Nathan Shaw's an Everton fan. They got off to a bad start last weekend, but thinks if Landon Donovan comes back and slots it on the right of a three behind the striker, then they might do better. This team is from APTW. It's a Liverpool team. It's a back five with Lucas and Gerrard protecting them. Kuyt's on the right. Turkish winger Arda Turan's on the left, but I can't see him coming to the club because they don't, well, they've got other options now, haven't they? Cole is behind Torres up front. It's a good side. And before I go, I'm just going to answer some of your questions very quickly. You've been emailing me in. Trevor Nolan's in Vancouver, Canada. Trevor, I think the defender Koscielny at Arsenal looks a great player. He's brave. He really does put his foot in. I think he's a good signing. And yes, I do think they need another defender. To Sturge in Lagos, I think the world's best left back is Ashley Cole, but I do like Philip Lahm. Elliot Webby wants to know where people think Bolton will finish. I think they'll finish 12th, but I'll throw that one out to you. Where do you think Bolton will finish? And to Mohammed, I think Villa will spend the James Milner money on another striker, most likely Robbie Keane from Spurs. Just before I go, I'm going to have a go at predicting a couple of the scores because I think Arsenal are going to beat Blackpool 6-0. I think Fulham will lose to Manchester United 2-1. But Monday night game between City and Liverpool is going to be tight. City very strong at home, but Liverpool just rolling into a bit of nice form, and I think it's going to be quite tight, but I take City to win 2-1. Let me know whether you disagree. We'll find out who was right by Monday. But in the meantime, have a nice weekend and enjoy your football.